What's up, guys? As Psych would say, hello, good people. I hope no one was in here to hear that. Quite a bit of dust. Jeremy, how's it going? Squid, what's up? You did hear it? It's sad. It's unfortunate. How's it going, everybody? This is the second stream today. This is number 12, believe it or not, in this series. We've been going pretty heavy on these since we need to get this out for End War. I'll just wait a little bit for some people to come in while people are coming in. It's pretty much tradition now to not start working on the blaster immediately, just to let some people in, and then we get off on a tangent and then don't accomplish what we need to accomplish. But anybody want to gander or guess what this is? This is not the only part. There's one other part to this. Anybody want to take a guess? It is 2 3/4 of an inch, about, and then the top here has a little flange right here, a little radius, and then the top part right here is just about 3 1/8. It's got a hole, not very deep, but it is a hole. Flat on that side. Any guesses? It's how deep is this? It is, that'd be about 3/4 of an inch deep, just about, a little bit more. That was the best live stream intro I've ever heard. It's a flywheel to launch your huge dart. Nope, it is not. This is definitely not big enough. The huge dart has a diameter of 6 inches. It's way too big to be fired off something like this. Hey Gavin, what's up? Anybody want to gander or guess what this is? It's one of 2 parts. It will need assembly. I will need glue. It's a 3D printed thing. Well, you're not wrong. That is accurate. Can we get more specific? Those flywheels would be massive. Yeah, they would. I could totally imagine them something like this at the very smallest. I think scaled it would probably, you know, have to be at least, no, it'd be way bigger than that. That'd have to be at least a meter in diameter, at least. Now I'm curious, I want to do the calculations. Semi-auto rocket launchers. No, that's not what this is. I will give you a hint. I have talked about it before. Tail from the dart to go into the foam to make the dart. The tail of the dart to go into the foam to make the dart one. Believe it or not, Neo, you're actually closer than you think you are. You're actually pretty close. I would go so far as to say that's not wrong. This part is indeed a dart stem. I am actually rather impressed. I'm gonna give that credit to Neo. I'm actually really impressed. Now, why would I make this is the real question. You use your brains. Why would I need to make stem if it doesn't show? That's what the proper word, yeah. It's PLA, it doesn't matter what it's made out of. It's not going to be the finished product. So your hands don't fall off like worker darts. So your heads don't fall off like worker darts. Because you're casting it. To make sure the foam doesn't rip or break. Guys. We'll get to work on this in a second. I'm enjoying this. There's only 5 of us watching, so I think most of the people are in the conversation already. Guys, use your brain. It's right there. So you can store more stuff in it. To hold it on there. No, it's not to... Well, I mean, it's going to hold the head on, but... Power darts to stack storage. Jeremy, you're so close. Jeremy, think. Jeremy, you said it. It's killing me on the inside. It's gonna be a giant cannon to shoot the dart. No. Has nothing to do with shooting the darts, unfortunately. Reason to hold air pressure? No, you said it. You said what it is. Oh my gosh, you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. You guys are trying to kill me. I'm going to die. What's the other thing you said? Like a what? Like a what? Oh my god. I know you guys are sick of this by now. I can't say it. You're so close. If it was anything else, I would say it. But you guys are so freaking close. No, it's not storage or it's not launching. Jeremy actually said the word. He said what it is, but he didn't say it that it was this. So I can't give it to you. Scroll up. You said the word. Like a what? Oh, I'm dying on the inside. It's going to be foam. Why would it be foam? Thank you! Oh my god! Oh my god! Thank you! It's a worker dart. It's going to be a worker dart. It's the stem to the worker dart. So you got the radius here. The dart head will be on here, and then this side will be glued to the body. Because you see that little spine on the inside. Oh my gosh. That took way too much effort. Yes, I'm actually doing it. I can't any believe myself. One of the reasons why I'm doing it is it's such a simple shape. There's really nothing to it. And I might actually get away with doing that coating again because it is such a simple shape. But then again, I might just sand it and skip that altogether because it was such a pain in the ass last time. I think I'll sand it just because I don't trust it anymore. But it's such a simple shape. There's no cavities or anything, so print these in 2 sections because I would have a lot of overhang if I just printed this like flat bottom like that and then printed the entire thing. There'd be a lot of underspace, so it was just easier to do this. This is just a keyway so that I put it exactly in the center. Oh my god, seriously, I'm going to kill you. Wow, I was just joking. Wow. I don't know why I said that backwards. Shake my head, yeah. Oh my gosh, you actually said it. You're like, to hold the thing on there like a worker dart, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Are you freaking kidding me? He just used it as an example. Are you kidding? It was so close that I couldn't give it to you. It was like just out of the context. Okay. So I spent a little bit last night. There were a few people in the party chat actually while I was doing it. Didn't take me even 30 minutes to make the model. But I just made up the model real quick. I used calipers, and I have a ratio that I'm already using for 1/2 inch to 6 inches. So I just calculated all of those and brought it down to scale as best I could. You schmuck. You know those baking soda rockets? Now you need to make a giant. Yeah. But I think the half-length dart, the body of the dart is going to be just about 14 inches long. So, that'd be this long. And like that's like the perfect size to just like have sitting on your desk or something. I mean, maybe it's a little big to sit on your desk, but it's a pretty good size. It's really nice. You can get 3 out of them out of one foam yoga roller. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to cast pitch black foam, or if I even have the ability to cast pitch black foam. I'm not actually sure on that yet. I will look into it before I cast up, or before I mold this. I will definitely look into it to make sure that I can actually cast black foam, but there has to be a way, right? So, hey Ben, or hey Jason, what's up? At the very least, I should be able to put like a skin on it or something that's black and then cast in gray foam. At the very least. So, we shall see. We'll think of something. You need to build a long shot big enough to fire it. Need to do something, that's for sure. Okay, so, now that we've gotten that torture out of the way, it took you guys like 8 minutes to guess that what this. You were so close too, like 3 minutes, and you had what this was, what this part was, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? And then the next, 5 minutes, everybody's like, what? Even though you said it. I just sold an Orange Mod Works Alpha Trooper metal trigger for $17. Wow. I would recommend the artifact one. I got one for Alpha Snooper. Not sure if I'm gonna use it, but it's a very nice one. Yeah, even Gavin took the words out of my mouth. The top is a little bumpy, but I know that's just because I don't have enough layers. I only have 3 layers on here. It's not that big of a deal. So I'll have to sand that flat eventually, but let's get to where we need to be, because we are so very, very close. Yeah. Very close, yeah. Just got a little bit more sanding to do, just this one piece, and then we will start applying the putty. I'm wondering now if I should apply the putty and then start sanding this, so maybe it will be mostly dry by the time I do that. Let's do that. I might have to go down and get gloves, though. Let me do that real quick. I will be right back. Alright. I is back. So sad I misplaced my Centurion trigger for my integration. That sucks. I'm sure you could find a Centurion trigger just asking around. I'm sure someone would give it to you for the cost of shipping, because it's not like Centurions are very needed. Usually they're cut up for their shells, so I don't think you would have a problem finding one. Kind of an inconvenience, but no, I bought an Alpha Trooper that had one I just needed the plunger tube. I didn't want it. Oh no, yeah, why not sell it? Yeah. Okay, not sure how much of the stuff I have left, but we shall find out, I guess. I'll ask Nerf Modders welcome tomorrow. Yeah. You may want to post on buy sell trade. They probably won't like that on there. I have one in a shell, but I don't feel like taking apart the entire shell just for that. Like I said, someone out there has one. There's no way that's not a in-demand part, but a Centurion is something that a lot of people have, so I think you'll be fine. Alright, let's go ahead and grab some sticks here. Try to keep our hands as clean as possible for as long as we can. They are eventually going to get completely covered, but we shall endeavor to keep them clean as long as we possibly can. And that might go quicker than you think, because I'm already ready to use my fingers. It's much easier to apply this stuff with your fingers. Screw it. It's kind of like a paste. It does not smell great. It has a very potent smell, but it's not like the methyl methacrylate where it will just linger on forever. It's potent, but it doesn't have any travel distance, so it's very thick. You can tell that it needs moisture. You can tell that it's on the last end of its tube here. So I'm not sure how much life I'm going to get out of this. It is very dry. It's falling apart, which is why I'm now going full in, not even trying to preserve my gloves anymore. It's like, oh, this is more important than trying to keep your gloves clean. Wow, it's dry. I'm running out of epoxy sculpt. I'm running out of spot putty. I'm running out of everything, man. Like I said, I think all of that's fine, believe it or not. how you're going to paint this up and what color you're going to use. It's going to be light gray and dark gray. It's going to have light purple and dark purple parts. GG. Alright. See ya, Jeremy. Thanks for sticking around. Hope to see you in another one. Squeezing every last bit I have out of this. It's crumbling a little bit. Good grief. Yep, still working. Just started. I took a break for food, and I was getting a little bit. My headache was starting to flare up. I've had one for like 2 weeks now. Serious migraine. I don't usually get headaches, which is why it's unusual. But we've been going now for just under 23 minutes. So we haven't been working the entire time. If you were in the stream here earlier, you'll notice that the number has increased to 12 instead of 11. But we need to get this up and running. Not much, but we could use a little bit back here. Most of it will come off anyway. I think that's really all I wanted to cover. There's just a There's just a few key details. Let me just get a little bit inside of here. I think this would be beneficial right here. Just give me 1 sec to catch up with your comments, guys. Need to kind of focus on this. Just give me just a little bit here. This stuff stains bad, by the way. So if you get this stuff, please be aware that this will stain clothing. It has a lot of red dye in it. Okay, I think that's good enough for me. Not perfect, but that is good enough for me. And I will call this tube of spot putty Dunzo. That spot putty is done. So now that we have that done, we can let that dry as we sand our last part. Ah, we thought ahead. Can we get a 2K sub special where you put 2K on a blaster? Clever. I've been lingering just under 2K for a while now. I don't really gain subscribers anymore because I mainly just do live streams and people don't want to see that. They want to see proper content. If you look on my page, it's an absolute mess because it's all this blue background. It's all live stream, live stream, live stream, live stream. You can't find any good content anymore. It's kind of unfortunate, but I just enjoy the live streams so much more than trying to edit all those videos and everything else. I'm gonna try to get some gameplay, but it's really been difficult lately, for numerous reasons. But I shall do what I can. But yes, we will have a subscriber special. I don't know if necessarily it will be of painting a blaster 2K, but that is a funny idea. Sorry, give me 1 sec. I think I missed a few comments here. Working new, how are you gonna paint this? What color use that? I think that'd be funny. Gameplay. Where's that fuzzy pimp coat? What? Okay. On to bigger and better things. Remember that fuzzy mic in the corner of your gameplay? Oh, I stopped using that. It's more of a hassle than it's really worth. The audio is screwed up half the time. So I filters to filter out the white noise, to filter out the wind, ended up being way more effective than trying to get a decent mic. The mic on the GoPro is actually not terrible, so I'm just going to opt to use that instead. You can't even really tell the difference between the two audio qualities, to be perfectly honest. Not to mention the music over it. You can't really even hear it at all, to be perfectly honest. How the heck did you get that out of fuzzy pimp coat? Printing up the other half of that worker dart right now. It should be done in the morning. I doubt I'm gonna get that done in time for End War. I'm gonna focus more on the what's it called? The waffle head. That's way more important. But that's all. That one's also much simpler. So hopefully it won't be months and months and months and months like the other one. I think I'm gonna sell them for 25 a piece. You know what would be funny if Worker ordered one of those? That would be funny. It would be pretty cool. I would want one if I was Worker. They're really cool. It's stupid to like think why would you need a giant dart? But they are actually really cool. I'm so happy with the one I have. Dude, I could make a giant 6-round magazine. 25 is insane. Insane what? God, I hate sanding this. It's so bad. It's the rubbery crap is just so bad. Insane cheap. I always you have to take what people say with a grain of salt. What the public says with a grain of salt, because if you have something that's really cool, people will say shut up and take my money. But then you actually put it out there, and more than half the time, 95% of the people are like, actually, never mind, I don't have that money. And so it's like, well, so obviously you're not gonna, you don't mean what you say, so. But, you know, if I put it at $25 a piece and I can't keep them in stock, then maybe I do need to bump up the price a little bit, but we shall see. You're gonna have like 200 orders. Don't you cast that part? Cast what part? Yeah, but what yoga mat is how much? Foam yoga roller, they're around $25. You can get them on Amazon. Don't you cast the Hyperfire butt plate? I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. Okay, okay, okay. Hey, what's good, Easy Mods? Are EAT priming bars worth something? BRB, I don't know. Probably not in high demand. How about Gavin registry? How about I give you a registry, whatever it's. If you're doing any like haggling or something, do it somewhere else, not the chat. I know you guys talk in 20 other chats, so you guys have plenty of other outlets. Give me 1 second to answer this. .007. That's a first time I've been called nothing but that. What is the past tense of what? No idea. Don't even know what you're talking about. That works well. Well-ish. Hi, hi, hi. How's it going? Also, good night. So, bye. Well, thanks for dropping in. Have a good night. Wait, 007, how do you not know what you need to I don't know about it because I'm not 13. What can I say? I know where to strike when it hurts. Screw this rubber crap, man. It's nice that Nerf is such high quality and they're actually like padding their stocks, but like, can you just like make it the regular plastic? Hey Neo. Welcome back. Still sanding this rubber crap. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Insert yelling. I mean, Hasbro has pretty high quality stuff. Aside from their paint jobs. They really do skim out on that. The one-sided crap is annoying. Other than that, like, they use high quality plastic, they use, for the most part, high quality parts. Keep on sanding as I will keep on eating my blizzard. Will do. Monorail is the monorail is that Busby we shotgun, right? That sentence didn't have any. That was a very bad sentence, but yes. To answer your question, if I'm translating that correctly. God, I hate this stuff. It's just the worst. Still haven't gotten an automatic yet. What brand do you suggest? Well, I always suggest Nerf. You can fix electronics. You can't fix plastic it's made out of. And Nerf tends to have the higher quality plastic, so... I don't really do full auto stuff, though, so you're better off asking someone else. Not Nerf knife. Oh, ProTech has good knives. They're pretty much the gold standard for high quality autos. Microtech if you want to get fancy, but that might be a little out of your price range. Kershaw isn't terrible. It's kind of like the budget. And you can't go wrong with a Benchmade no matter what you do, so. Their Benchmade's warranties are worth their weight in gold by themselves, so. Although you might need to get someone from the military or police to ship out for warranties with an auto knife, because you can't ship auto knives across state lines. And you might be able to ship it to them, but then they're not legally allowed to ship it back to you. So Kershaw is good for its price point. Oh, is this the scale swapped para? It is. This one's the paramilitary 2. G10 natural jade handles, and then it's got the S30V stainless steel. I kind of require stainless steel, not only because I don't want to oil my knives, and I think that carbon steels are kind of stupid to have on an everyday carry knife. I think that's kind of retarded. But also I'm from Houston, and we have 90% humidity 90% of the time, so these things would rust in no time no matter how much care I give them. So I switched out the blade. This one ended up costing me like $330 between the two blades that I swapped it out for, but I sold the other one for a little bit, so realistically it didn't cost me that much. But really, really like this one. This one's probably my favorite. This one and the Griptilian. This one cuts way better though, because it's a full saber grind. I think that's what it's called. I think that'll just about do it for the main sanding. All we have to do now is get that stuff back off. I'm gonna let this dry just a little bit longer. It's only been about less than an hour, like 30 minutes. No, I said that wrong. Less than 30 minutes. Ish. Probably like 20 minutes, somewhere around there. So I want to let that sit a little bit longer. It dries pretty fast. It air dries, so you do have to be careful if you have the cap off. Obviously, there's no catalyst or anything. So you do have to be a little bit careful. Let it dry out. Make sure it's dry, but I'm stupid. Which way does this go on? There we go. I don't really pay attention to the scales, but blade just looks beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that was too much work. Am I right? I think I should put some on this guy right here. I don't think... Whoops! Hold on, I just dropped the other battery door. I don't think this guy needs any... maybe a little. Maybe a little. Kind of wasting gloves here, but that's okay. Squeeze what little we can out of this. The tube is definitely on its last legs. Not much here. We don't want to accidentally fill in the lines that outline this battery tray, battery door, whatever. See the little grooves on there? We don't want to accidentally fill those, so we're going to do our best to avoid them. We can scratch them back out later if we really need to, but it'll be much easier if we can just avoid it in the first place. My phone is blowing up. I apologize. I can't mute it though because it's kind of important. And unfortunately for you guys, Heather is more important than the stream. And I think we're going to be okay there. We'll let those dry a little bit longer. Those are nice and flat, so I literally just go and it's done. Doesn't take not even a minute. Oh, Hawkeye, any tips for polishing metal cages? 1 second. This stuff you can get at Walmart in the auto section. It's called Mother's Polish, whatever. This is specifically for aluminum. Pop it open and it looks disgusting because I need to mix it. It should be more of a white paste. I've had this one for a while. It'll be more of a white paste. But this stuff is great. You take some paper towels, you scoop up some, you put it everywhere, you kind of rub it in, it'll start turning black. Then once you've kind of worked it in a little bit, then you take a clean one and you turn it over to it's clean, and then you kind of work it in some more and you keep turning over to new paper towel until it eventually you're just buffing it, and it works very, very, very well. I am from the future here to tell you that you need to you ended up going with white internal LEDs and clear colored cast parts. No, I didn't. What are your plans like? What are your plans like Nerf till you're 80 or what? Well, this is my hobby, so as long as I'm interested in the hobby. Because I'm going to school for machining now. I don't plan on doing this for money forever. It's just kind of like it's making me money while I'm doing it, so I might as well. I don't have a use for any of these blasters. I'd really love to keep this one. This one is probably going to be the hardest that I'm going to have to let go, even above Oculus Dawn. I just already know I like the shape, and I absolutely adore the color scheme. But I kind of have to pay for Enwar, so this one doesn't really get a choice. I pretty much have to sell this one. So if someone is more upset that you care about family more than viewers, are they really worthwhile? Still can be frustrating. Nothing wrong with it being frustrating. Endbor plan is officially dead on arrival. Confirmed cannot go this year. That sucks. Try to make a video so you can see. Don't worry, me and RZ will have a lot of fun. If that makes you feel any better. Who am I kidding? Of course that makes you feel better. What's the colors? It is themed off of something from a company that is very picky about using their name. And so I am neither confirming nor denying whether it is or isn't based on something. And I know that sounds kind of stupid that I'm kind of like playing this game, but I assure you it is from a very real concern. So it is based off of something that I am not allowed to say because I don't want any legal obligation, you know, saying this in a video. But if someone in the comments wants to say, or, you know, take a guess at what it may or may not be based on, I cannot confirm nor deny, but I know for a fact that some people may or may not know. So, if anybody wants to help out. And I know that, I know it sounds really stupid that I'm saying it like this, but trust me. Give me one sec. Well, if only there was some sort of internet search device that you could type in those things and figure out. And like I said, that doesn't take any time if it's a flat surface. This stuff's very, very soft. It's always so frustrating when someone new comes in and they're like, what's your color scheme? It's like, oh god. Down the rabbit hole. think this side might need a little more drying. Just a little bit. Yeah, we might be good. I think it's mostly good, but I'm just going to play it safe and just wait another little bit here. Wonder how that print is doing. I have no idea what you guys are talking about now. Like, not even kidding. I have no idea what you guys are even talking about now. Meow, you're making things way more complicated than they need to be. If he doesn't even know what it is, he's not going to know what games are on it. That's the stupidest thing you've ever done. You're literally just making... If you ignore everything Meowstick has said, it is much easier to figure out what it is. Literally just ignore what he said. No. 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 Phil, can you help me? Phil, please, for the love of God, help me. Give him something to Google. I cannot confirm nor deny if you are correct, but please, for the love of God, give him something to Google. End this suffering. Thank you. I don't know if that's right or not, but thank you. For the love of God. Just let the record show, since I am recording this, I have no idea if that is right or not. Can neither confirm nor deny. What's up, McCool? How's it going? We're literally waiting for stuff to dry. It was a little tiny bit. I think it's okay, but I just want to make sure, so I'm waiting just a hair longer for this stuff for the spot putty to dry all the way. So this blaster is going to be light gray, light purple, and dark purple, if that helps anyone at all. And the reason why, for new people who are joining, the reason why I have to be kind of indirect about what the theme of this blaster is because the company may or may not like people making money off of their name in the very slightest, because they have been known to take down videos of gameplay from their console. So, I am completely avoiding the name altogether, and I cannot neither confirm nor deny anything anyone might say, because I don't know. It just happens to be looking like stuff. So, I don't know what to do with broken modded demolisher I have. Is it fixable, or is it like completely dead in the water? Fixable? You gonna get a motor cage for it or anything? Might as well sand this flat. I just need to redo all of the electronics, clean up the shell, and paint. Oh, is that all? So basically everything. Does that polish you use also help with machining lines? I think so. Machining lines aren't that deep, so it should. If you put enough polish on there, I would imagine. Unless it's like super deep, like actual, like mistakes. But if it's just like a straight up machining back and forth, like you can't feel it, then yeah, it should. I think. I don't see why it wouldn't. Even if it didn't, you could just sandpaper it really quick. Like a high grit, you know, 300, 400, 500, 600, somewhere around there, and then do the polish. No, I just want it working. Even with stock and stuff. Yeah, that works. Shell is decent nick. Maybe more than just a... yeah. Just slap some epoxy putty on there. If you're not following what Meowstick is saying now, and you still don't understand what I'm doing, there is literally no hope. Now you're just trying to troll, and you're just trying to get me to say it, and I won't. So, because there's no way he sent you a link to the page and you still don't understand what's going on. There's absolutely no way. And I just happen to not be able to confirm nor deny what Meowstick is saying. That is his opinion, and I can't say anything more than that. It just happens to look like it. I can't help it if my artistic vision coincides with something else. Super Mario World, it's legit. Helpful if I had a larger piece of paper, wouldn't it? That's good enough. It needs to be glued down anyway, so... Oh, no, wait. Wait. Yeah, it needs to be glued down anyway, so... Is that like a modded console or something? Knockoff version, emulator or something? So this, for the new people joining, is going to be the stem of a giant worker dart. It's going to be a big ass worker dart. And so maybe sometime in the future we can get some foam giant worker dart heads. The foam will be 6 inches in diameter. So the foam on the dart is 14 inches long. And then the head, I think, was like a little over 3 inches, I think. I can't actually remember. Don't take my word on that. Okay, let's go ahead and start sanding again. Like I said before, the spot putty is super, super soft, dries super quick, so it's not a very big step. Pretty quick. The main pain in the ass is just applying it. Does not take much to sand it away at all. You don't want to sand it when it's even remotely still wet, because it'll start rolling, and you don't want that. It clogs up your sandpaper something fierce, but with a wire brush it very easily comes back off. So very, very easy stuff to work with. I think a lot of people just don't know about it, don't know how to use it. This is not a filler. This fills in hairline fractures. This fills in tiny little things that you are too small for putty to get into. But this is not a filler. That should be said. This is air dries, so you have to put on a very, very thin. So apparently the new katana mags are made from polycarb, as I'm sure you're aware. Bullshit. Bullshit, they're made out of polycarbonate. No way. I don't believe that in the slightest. I need some proof. That's baloney. That stuff's expensive. That's baloney. I don't believe that for a second. Okay, so my flywheels are buggered. Wonder where you're from. But the cage seems okay. I wonder if they still sell the Demolisher flywheels, because I know those are different. I don't screw with Demolishers a lot, or at all, ever. Where's he getting that information? Because if he's just feeling it and like, oh, it's polycarbonate, I rather doubt that, unless he took a heat gun to it, which you should be able to tell relatively easily. But even so, you would have to know what you're actually talking about. But there's no way to just feel it and go, oh, that's polycarbonate. Now, if someone has like a data sheet, or someone talked to Jet directly, then, you know, I'll have to take it for their word, because I can't imagine that Jet would lie so blatantly. But if someone's just feeling it and saying polycarbonate, I'm gonna have to say, eh. Bradley Phillips and Chris Cartea both said it's made out of polycarbonate. Again, I'm gonna need some direct Jet proof here. I know Chris Cartea says is like supposedly works for Jet or whatever, but I don't know. That's hard to believe that they invested in polycarbonate. With all the crap Jet does, it's just hard to believe that. Am I so wrong for being skeptical? You gotta admit. Should make a Demolisher and a Centurion integration. Meh, don't like either. It seems there's some friction between Cartea and Jet right now, so grain of salt. Grain of salt? Grind of salt? What? Grain of salt. So yeah, he's not, so they're, at the very least, he's not, probably not getting his information directly from Jet. You can very easily tell if it's polycarbonate if you want to destroy it. But what you could do if you really wanted to is take a heat gun and start heating it up. If it's either ABS, let's think, acrylic, PETG, any sort of thermoplastic, you would heat it up and it will start drooping before it does anything else. If it's polycarbonate, it will stay solid for quite a long while, till it gets quite hot, and then it will start boiling before it actually turns thermoform, which is so freaking annoying. Ask me how I know that. But it'll actually start bubbling because of the way it's processed. It'll start bubbling before you can actually start bending it around. So if it is polycarbonate, it will be very easy to tell because not a whole lot of other plastics do that. Certainly none that would be injection molded, I'm sure. But you'd have to kind of destroy a magazine in order to do that. If someone wants to send me one, I'll be more than happy to test it out, but... my funds are not at which I would be able to do that of my own accord. Why are you making another one? Another one what? Another katana mag? What? Sure, why the F not? Oh wait, I'm broke. Oh, Hyperstrife. I'm auctioning this off at N1. BRB? Isn't it past your nerfs? Isn't it past your YouTube's bedtime? Probably, but I gotta get this out. I do need to go to bed soon because I have a war tomorrow that I have to get up for. If it gets me more Hawkeye credit, I can order one. If you do that and you visit locally, because I know you, Neo, want to visit locally, I will give you something. I'm not sure what, but I will give you something if you do that, because I'm actually curious now. If it starts melting, it could be anything. I have a feeling it's a mixture between acrylic and something else, because just the way it feels, I'm assuming. If it is polycarbonate, that would be quite amazing. I would be rather impressed, because that most likely means that their Sita is also polycarbonate, because it looks like it has the same texture and sheen to it. I know you can change the textures, but when they have two of the same textures, like they're both equally as shiny. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but I grew up with Legos literally from the time I could use them. From 2.5 to 4, from 2.5 to 17 years old, I asked for nothing but Legos for my birthday and Christmas. And there's a very clear difference between Lego plastic and Mega Block plastic, even though they're both technically ABS. So being around plastic, I know that sounds really like, oh, look at me, and I'm so fancy. But honestly, being around plastic that much, you get a feeling for, you know, different types of plastic. PETG is a little bit softer. Polycarbonate's way harder. ABS is not quite as soft as PETG, but it is in that region. It's a little more flexible. It bends instead of snaps. That kind of stuff. So if seed is polycarbonate, I'm just keeping it for that. If seed is polycarbonate, I'll be quite impressed, because it does feel like a cheap plastic, but if it ends up being polycarbonate, that's actually pretty impressive. I would love for it to be, I would love to be proven wrong. Cast strife parts are my freaking dream parts for the past 2 years and counting. I don't know about that, but I will see what I can do. I will see what I can do. I make no promises, but I will make you happy. I won't leave you hanging in the dust. I don't think my conscience would let me do that. Soak a katana in acetone. True test to see if the katana will rust when soaked in blood. I'm confident enough in the heat gun test where even if Jet told me it was polycarbonate, if I did the test and saw it wasn't polycarbonate, I would tell them to go back to their manufacturer and get it actually tested. That's how confident I am in the test. Now, if it's not polycarbonate, I have no idea what the hell it is. But the heat gun thing is pretty unique to polycarbonate, I would say, especially for clear plastic. There's not a whole lot of plastics that'll do something quite like that. Wait, does Hanu have wars regularly? Regular wars? Yes. First Saturday of every month, which happens to be tomorrow. Sometimes we do mid elite wars. They're called elite wars. Mid month. I think we're slowing down on those though, because it's kind of hard on everyone. We're all adults. We do have kids there, but the kids don't go to the elite wars, which is why they're called elite wars. What makes such a long lead time? Funny story. The BSP cage, when I first made that, I didn't know how to run a store very well. And so I would stock 3. And this is back when they were $20. So people were buying them in 3, 4, 5 at a time. So I would stock 5. People would buy them. I would just restock them. People would buy 5 at a time. Eventually it hit me, I'm not going to have enough time to make this. Oh, I know. I'll just extend the lead time. If people don't want to wait, then they won't order. People kept ordering them, and I kept extending the lead time until it got out to 6 weeks. And then it hit me, I should not be doing this. This is a terrible idea. So that's when I announced that I had to up the price, because I couldn't do the $20 anymore, simply based on the fact that too many people were ordering them, and people were ordering them in droves at a time. So that calmed down a little bit, and I was like, I'll just catch up, you know, when I can. I still haven't caught up. Something always ends up coming up, like end war, or I have to do something else, or my health goes down the drain, or something else, but I can't just, you know, skip ahead. I have to do all the orders in a row, and by the time I get there, something ends up happening that sets me back again, and then I keep going, and then something sets me back in, and I literally haven't been able to get it shorter than 6 weeks, even today. And it's been how many years? That's not a joke. I wish I was joking, but unfortunately that is actually the reason. I'm catching up a little bit with NWAR because it's crunch time, and I'm causing myself to go sick because of it. I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why I've had a migraine for 2 weeks straight. But I am working my ass off, not getting a whole lot of sleep doing it, but hopefully I can get crunch time. And it's because if I don't get this done, then I don't have money for NWAR, so. You could hire 2 kids, one for candy bar per day. For 1 candy bar per day to do the work. There are so many things wrong with that, Johnson, that I'm not even going to bother addressing you. Are any of your files free to print? I have a proto cage, something called a proto cage. It's not canted stock crush. So I do have that technically. There's way more options out there, so usually it's not that popular, but that is out there available. But other than that, not really. I don't really put my files out there for free. I think I did that for kind of like a New Year's gift one year. Oh yeah, I do have a Thingiverse, so whatever's on there. I also have a 3D printed thing that you can glue in. It's a little plate that holds the a 21 amp Omron switch in place. You need some screws, but the one out of Darts has actually is a complete rip off of mine, but you know. It is what it is. I shall forever indulge in knowing the fact that I had the original. Also was the first one to come up with the flared magazine well, believe it or not. It's been a real thing. It's been a thing in Real Steel forever, so I'm not quite sure why it was never implemented to Nerf, but apparently just no one ever thought about it. Also, the windowed motor cover was first done on Ethereal Fortress. That's the first blaster that ever had one. And Bobo, around the same time, I was making my primary for NWAR. He was making his primary for NWAR, which was Ponesaw. That one has a motor cover, a clear motor cover, and believe it or not, that one was commissioned from me. So, but I got Ethereal Fortress done a little bit before he got Ponesaw done. Where's your switch mount for sale? I don't actually have them for sale. I have the mold. I just haven't put them for sale. Especially with Out of Darts thing out there. I don't see a point, so just kind of kept it to myself. You could donate 1 candy bar to 2 kids that would happen to donate their time. Well, all legal, pretty sure. Hey Marcus, what's going on, man? How's your day been so far? Glad you could join us. And if there's any new people in the stream, for those of you wondering, I don't like doing this, but unfortunately it is the only way. If you would like to get notified when I have these streams, unfortunately I don't really plan on these streams too often. Usually if I have a crunch time like NWAR, I'll all of a sudden do a burst of these things. I did glass construct in 1 month. Believe it or not, I streamed 117 hours in 1 month. So that was a thing. I don't know how much time I'll have. You know, in the future, I have school, I have a bunch of different things, but when there's downtime, I'll stream. But if you want to get notified, unfortunately, the only real way to do that is hit the bell notification. I don't like saying it because it sounds like I'm, you know, subscribe, like, comment, share, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. But if you do want to get notified of these streams, I promise I won't spam you. But the bell notification is there for those of you wondering. Eclipse versus Eclipse. Excuse me? Eclipse versus DRS. The current version of Eclipse is completely and utter garbage. It has nothing to do with the cage, it's the wheels. But Phil is fixing that, so hopefully Gen 2 will be better. But the Gen 1 wheels are completely useless. They decapitate 65% of the heads, according to Bobo. And that is complete garbage and completely useless. Not to say anything bad about Phil or OFP. He does great work and he is fixing it in V2, which says more about his character. And he also helped me out quite a bit with my defective wheels, so I do appreciate that. But unfortunately, it's just not a thing right now. If you had a Strife with an Eclipse cage and a DRS freaking Strife with a DRS cage in it, that would not be a fair fight in the slightest. That's not what it's called. The title, believe it or not, is what it's called. SNFBS. Stands for Super Nerfing Foam Blasting System. It is... I can neither confirm nor deny what it is based on, because this is so complicated to explain every time, but I assure you it's necessary, because there is a company out there that does not like when their name is being used for any sort of purposes other than what they use it for. So unfortunately, I cannot tell you exactly, but if there's anyone in the chat that does have an idea, I can neither confirm nor deny, but if they say it, then you might get a little bit better of an idea. But again, can't confirm nor deny anything they say. I don't have any control over them. But if it helps, this is going to be light gray and dark gray, and the parts are going to be cast in light purple and dark purple. Is this blaster only for sale during End War? Yes, it is going to be at auction for. It is going to be for auction at End War. Sorry, I'm having my headaches starting to flare up again, and I'm having trouble speaking. Dartstorm suggests Typhoon Cage since they're more available and cheaper than DRS, but they aren't canted. You get the same performance FPS wise as DRS Cage with the Typhoon, and you get less accuracy because it's not canted. You can watch what they say about it is a little bit biased, but if you actually just look at the results and ignore what they're saying, it's completely apparent. 5 FPS, I would say, is within the realm of error, I would say. If not, then 5 FPS is still, you're not going to be able to notice that in a realistic way in any way, shape, or form. And the DRS was way more effective. For some reason they said, it's not very clear, and we're just going to ignore the elites, even though it was like 3 to 12 or something stupid like that. But, you know, we're just going to ignore that because who uses elite darts anyway? It's like, well, that's... No. But, you know. They are more available, are cheaper, but at that point I would probably just recommend a Morpheus cage. Cheaper, more FPS. And you're also saying that wrong. It's SNES. Not that that has anything to do with anything. DRS or Artifact Gold. Believe it or not, you can get an Artifact Gold cage to perform really well. One of Peter's blasters, one of the first ones he did, actually has an Artifact Gold cage, and we butchered that thing. We shoved brass in there all the proper ways. It was a pain in the ass, but we did do it. And you can get it to shoot rather well. It's not going to be quite as good as a DRS cage, but you can actually make them pretty decent. Would I recommend it over a DRS cage? No. I think a DRS cage is going to be worth its money if you can find one. But if that's all you have, it is possible to make it worth your while. What you're going to want to do is take 9/16 brass, and then you're going to want to fit it in there. Oh wait, it doesn't fit. Please, for the love of God, don't use electrical tape. Go out and buy foil tape. It's a little expensive, but it's for duct work. Foil tape, literally just aluminum with a sticky back, and you can wrap that around. It's super nice, super clean. Do that after you cut the brass out for the wheels, and then you can wrap it around until it fits in there, and then you can just like either super glue it in, which is probably what I recommend, believe it or not, or epoxy it in, but I do recommend the super glue. Probably hold in there a little bit better. It's a lot of work, but it does wonders. Any canted cages out there, if you're wondering, the way you align them is you look down the front of the barrel and you align the wheels so that they are centered to the front of it. Remember, that's the last thing the dart is touching on the way out. Don't look at it from the back. It's going to look weird. Hey Pete, what's going on? I'm gonna message you about Hyperfire stock. Don't expect you to answer right away. I see. Well, yeah, not a problem. I would recommend Morpheus, but he asked for the best bang for your buck. Metal cage specifically, Ben. Metal cage specifically, best bang for your buck. I still think it's going to be DRS. But then again, I'm me, so I wouldn't know. The thing is, FPS isn't everything. I know that a lot of people in the community will like FPS because it's a hard number that you can tell people. FPS is not everything, especially when you're actually out there and you actually use an accurate blaster. It's a completely different style of gameplay. This Ethereal Fortress only shoots like 115 with waffles, and I've kicked people's asses that can shoot 170. So it is absolutely not, and I am by no means a good player, by the way. So it's not really always about FPS. Does it help? Yes. Is it everything? No. I got some SE 180s. Those are 1S. They are not similar to XP 180s in the slightest. Even if they appear to be, they are not. The normal ones are the other ones in stock, or is it just the Strife? Because I knew the Strife's ones were in stock, but are the other ones in stock? Because then I might need to go look. What do you think about the 3-stage Raven called Hex something? It's just Hex, I think. Kind of unnecessary. I think it's cool, but I wouldn't want to get hit by something with that. Or excuse me, I wouldn't want to get hit by something like that. Blah. So I wouldn't use it in like a super stock game. For like NIC, that's fine, but I think you're kind of overkilling it a little bit. So maybe that's just me, but I kind of feel like in a regular super stock game, I would feel like a douchebag for using it. That's all I'm saying. Just an opinion. What cage are you going to use in this blaster? I have a DRS cage ready to go. This is also going to be the last blaster I sell XP 180s in. I already committed to it before they went retired. So FDS says the what? If the Raven in stock, oh crap. Can someone check that, please? Gavin, can you check that real quick? DRS performance? Google DRS performance and you should find the website. Shut up, pirate. And the data sheet says they're 2S. They do? Okay. From your post. The XP180s are 2S. The SE whatevers aren't. Those are 1S. Because I know which motors you're talking about. Why do you choose to sell your beautiful and cool mods and not keep them for yourself? Because right now this is my main form of income. And it is not a great form of income. I'm lucky enough that this does actually make me money enough to keep doing it, but it's not what I want to do because it's not making me enough money. Which is why I'm going back to school. But I also don't get very attached very easily. This is a very rare exception where I really wish I didn't have to sell this blaster. I have to get the funds for N-War though. But most blasters, I do it. I like the process. I adore the process. I love making things with my hands. But as soon as I'm done, I'm completely detached. Glass Construct is a very good example where it's like you put so much work into that. How could you not be attached? I really wanted to like it. Full auto really isn't my thing. I used it for a war or two, or excuse me, a round or two, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And I was pretty much over it. As soon as it left my bench, I was over it. And I know that sounds pretty hard, but like the LEDs were freaking awesome. I'm really happy with the way that came out. I'll always remember it. It's an amazing blaster, but it's just the thing. So wait, your SNFBS is very close to well, I mean, just happens to stand for stuff, so. Just made a deal with the devil for a DRS cage. Uh-oh. Who'd you make a deal with? He funds his expenses. He funds his expensive... Oh my god, I can't talk right now. Not really. Because the commutator, or excuse me, the rotors don't fit from any other motor. Ask me how I know that. They're just a little bit too small. Trust me, I've looked at all the options. If anyone was going to know an alternative, trust me, it would be me. All 3D printed cages are back in stock, but the aluminum's just a stripe. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, good sir. I'm gonna make a deal with my mother to get me a cage, and I'm going to work my butt off to pay her back. It's the best kind of deal with the devil you could make, to be honest. Yeah, funny. At least I'll have enough practice if I ever want to make another one of these things. Over there. I'm on mobile. Do me a favor, Gavin, please. Is there a rapid red DRS cage? That would be the Desolator cage, which I don't think he has, so no. I don't think there is. The dust will stain, by the way, so don't wear good clothing when you're doing this, or be careful. I'm wearing good clothing, and I'm not being careful, so I'm being an idiot, but the dust will stain. It will not come out, trust me. This stuff gets everywhere. Ouch, I just hit my knee. If you need help setting up your DRS cage, let me know. There are a few things to note. The silicone pads add a little bit of padding. This is something I haven't dealt with before, but recently a local, his name's Brian, bought a DRS cage from me, and he was having trouble. The wheels weren't aligning. It wasn't turning. Like, since they weren't aligning, they were rubbing up against the walls, and it was stalling out. And so he brought it to show. He didn't tighten the screws down enough to really clamp down on the silicone pad, and you could actually look at it and see that the, like if you looked at it from the front, or excuse me, yeah, if you looked at it from the front, you could see that the shafts were like bent in one direction because he didn't cinch it down tight enough. So do make sure you tighten those enough when you're pushing on the wheels. If you grab it like this and then slowly rock your thumbs over it, it'll be a little bit easier to control. If you have a drill press, it would be a lot easier if you could not turn it on, but it would be a lot easier to use it like a press and to be able to slowly push the wheels on. Push from the back of the motor. Do not push on the cage. That's kind of important, because if you push hard enough, you will just pop your freaking motor shaft right out. So keep the pressure on the back of the motor. That's going to be a little bit difficult, but again, it's a lot easier if you have a drill press. When you're lining up the stuff, look at it from the front of the barrel, inside the barrel. Do not look at it from the back. Make sure the front is lined up. And we're talking like 0.5 millimeter here, so the better you get it lined up, the more performance you're going to get out of it. Soviet actually paid me to set up his cage, believe it or not. He got a he has a modulus cage, and that one came out really nice. I really like that one because it has the red and black wire, or red and blue wires, and they go all the way back to a nice connector. and everything. It came out so pretty. I think I have a picture on Instagram from months back, but I'm not sure. Nobody wants to deal with your rapid red obsession, Pirate. It's not our fault you have 20,000 of them. Oh yeah, he got them on sale when they were on sale. I got some when they were on sale. I got like 4 for like $5 each at Walmart one time. Literally like 480 something, I think. But Pirate got like a freaking crap ton of them, so he's had them coming out of his ears forever. He mentions them in Fuzzy Walrus all the time. Yeah, appreciate you doing all the looking for us, Gavin. Really do. Everyone just needs to convert Rival to shoot darts. Be much cheaper and more available than DRS cages or other cages. Many years ago, Fuzzy Pete was the one that made, I don't know if anyone's gonna remember this, but he's the one that made the it was a Strife, and then it had the entire stock and top portion and then front cage of a Zeus, and that thing was freaking awesome. It took a long time to rev up, but that thing freaking hit like a truck. That thing was great. That was so fun to shoot. I remember seeing that on Facebook. That's probably one of my favorite ones, to be honest. Probably not accurate. Maybe I could trade one of my crossbows for Prometheus. Is that what they're called? Prometheus? That's not what it's called. Is that what it's called? Anyway, if anyone wants to do that deal, hit me up. No, Hades is the pump action, the Artemis. The extended Artemis. You can get a bunch for like a fish and maybe where it's polycarb sheets. I only know that because I kept getting them mixed up, and so I had to sit there for like 5 minutes and memorize which one was which. I'm not kidding. I kept mixing it up. And the only reason why I remember the word Prometheus is because of the Prometheus from Star Trek Voyager? I believe that was Voyager, the Prometheus, the one with the 3 separating parts. You guys are too young for that. Exactly, Gavin. I want one, but not for 200. I know it'll come down in price, but if you're old, turned 26 today. Hey, happy birthday, Pete! Everybody, throw a hashtag Happy Birthday, Pete, in the chat. Happy birthday, man! From a scale of 1 to 10, how much of sanding have you done? In comparison to what? In comparison to what I'm used to? Probably a 6. Maybe a 5. 5.5. Yeah, I'll say a 5.5. Popular in kids Netflix? Are you serious? Oh no, JK, okay. Alright, anything else, and I think we can clean it up in the wet sanding. I believe that is this side of the shell done-ish. Sort of, not really. I forgot I need to do the polycarbonate pieces, which I do need to shape. I will not be doing that tonight. We just hit 2 hours. So I will not be doing that tonight. Polycarbonate plate here. I also need to glue. I need to sand away this crap, Dremel it, and then put in some sort of plate or something. I'll probably use... Not actually sure what I'll use. I had a plan going here, and now I'm not 100% sure. I might actually wall it up and do cast resin, and then hot glue around the side to keep it from delaminating, but I'm not actually sure. I'll think about that later. Let's just get what we wanted to get done today, which is finishing up the sanding on the outside of all of these parts. Focus. Keep your focus. I have something planned in mind for the Hades, actually, but trading a Hades for a crossbow just doesn't make any sense. But if you guys are looking for black steel prop parts, and are looking for a little bit of a discount, I am looking for both of those blasters when they come out. I think the Hades is like $60. Am I right on that? Can someone tell me how much the Hades was supposed to be? I'm going to get the Prometheus for sure, though. I'll even pay for what I have in mind. Well, it's kind of a bit weird. Yeah, about right. Yeah, strive parts. Like 90. Prometheus is 200 and the Hades is 60. Okay, yeah, the Hades is 60. Yeah, so if you want like neon strife parts, those are normally 90. I mean, I'd definitely do a trade for that for the Hades. You might even be able to sweet talk me for a motor cover. Don't tell anybody I said that. 70, 200 for the Prometheus still. Then yeah, you could probably sweet talk me for a motor cover. Just work with me before you actually buy it, because it would probably be cheaper to order it on Amazon and ship it directly to me than to have you buy it and then ship it to me. And don't take what I'm saying as a contract. Talk to me first before you do anything. I don't want somebody saying, oh, you said that you would do this in the live stream, and then I'm gonna be like, I didn't talk to you specifically. Is that done? I think that was the only thing I needed to do. Yeah, I think that's done. So now we need to do these, and I'm sure these are dry by now. I'm saving money for Hades for neon green strife parts. My dream will come true, damn it. Also, you're aware that the dust is going in every blaster I own. Is it actually? That's really sad. I'm not that important. I'm sure this stuff is terrible for me to be breathing in right now. Should wear a mask, okay? Shut up. Get off my back, Mom. But seriously, respiratory protection is serious. Serious stuff is serious. I suppose it's better than doing meth. You heard it here first, folks. Breathing in toxic dust is better than doing meth. So this blaster will be dark gray, light gray, with dark and light purple parts. No, they're not going to be clear parts. They're going to be opaque. I was going to do the clear parts at first, but then I kind of realized that's not really what I'm looking for. And I think it's just going to be a lot better. Because, you know, it's so me to put LEDs in everything, but I really do think it's just going to look better without the LEDs. And also it's going to be in its full glory at any time of day. I can't turn on the LEDs in bright daylight because it's not going to show up for Ethereal Fortress. So it's kind of like, trust me, it looks better. It still looks great even with them off. Don't get me wrong. Because the clear parts really are pretty freaking awesome, but like it's not in its full glory until it's inside, you know what I mean? But this will be in its full glory at all times. So but yes, technically it's going to be light gray and dark gray, I would say, rather than dark gray and light gray, because that kind of makes it sound like the dark gray is going to be the primary, the light gray is the primary. But I think I'm just going to do the taping lines of Ethereal Fortress. Ships to Hades to Ben's house. Yeah, Neon Rabbit Strike parts. What you said, Hades. Yeah. I would trade one for some Rapid Red parts. Rapid Red BSP cage when. Raven BSP cage when. Never, never. Prometheus for flared EAT Magwell. I just want, I mean, I would do that. Neo, don't tempt me with a good time. That's actually, I mean, that's hard to turn down. I'm just saying. I know you're kidding, but I'm just saying. Crystal meth. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying now, Pirate. Gavin, shut up. Okay, I think that's done. We just needed a quick sanding. Like I said, that didn't even take that long. And this guy. Go. Got a little bit inside the cracks here, so we're just going to come back in with the back of an X-Acto knife and just kind of pluck it out. Not a big deal. Real easy to clean up. There we go. I think that's pretty much it for the main sanding. Everything else is going to be wet sanding. I still need to epoxy some parts in. I need to put the window in. So we need to do that before wet sanding. So it looks like we will have another episode here. So we might have one more. I doubt two more, but one more episode here for sure. We need to cut, drill, tap a polycarbonate block for the back of here so that we can hold on an aluminum plate. We need to glue on... No, that comes after the wet sanding. We won't do that. I'll probably do that off camera. It's just real quick. Bzz, bzz, it's done. And then we will also do the mount for the switch. And then we will start the wet sanding. I was looking all over McMaster car for a tube tight enough. The actual guy could not find one. If I recall, since is at the end of the stream. It is getting there. It is getting there. I would say so. That was another 2 hours, 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes of sanding. Did not think I had that much left, but you never know. It always ends up being longer than you want it to, right? and it is, oh my god, it's 12:20. It's 12:19 here. So I definitely have to get off here because I have to get up for tomorrow's war. And I still have other things that I need to do, so I'm not getting to bed anytime soon. That sucks. Let me go ahead and vacuum this up. So give me just 1 second here with the vacuum. If you guys have any last questions or comments, whoops, did not mean to do that. If you guys have any last questions or comments, go ahead and start leaving those, and I will see if I can get around to them. Almost sucked that up. Pulled out the tube at the last second. There we go. It's 1:20 here. Hawkeye will start saving for you. Wait, jeez. Wait, this blaster's for parts. It's blasters for parts. This blast, what? I mean, yeah, what we were talking about before, but what? Should be, okay, I will look into it. Thanks, Pirate. Make Mega great again. Demonetized for getting off YouTube. What would it take to get a Mastodon BSP? Nothing. There is nothing on planet Earth that would get me to make a cage for the Mastodon. These blasters for parts. We can talk about that later, Neo. I'm a little bit too frazzled right now to think clearly. But yeah, I want both of them. Looking for both of them. If the what's it called is $70, then yeah, I'd say that's worth neon parts and a motor cover or something. If you want flared magwell for the Strife or something like that. And then the other one, we can talk about that a little bit more when we're more serious. Just make sure that I don't get one, because if I already have one by the time you save up for them, or by the time they're available, whatever, then, you know, obviously, I only need one, so just make sure you talk to me before you do anything. This is a future project for those of you who weren't here during the beginning hour of the stream. This is the half of the part. Well, half. It's one of two parts that is going to be for a worker dart head, giant worker dart head. You can tell I'm getting tired. So hopefully that'll be a thing in the future. I need 3 Prometheus to make the best shotgun ever. I really should put my keyboard back there again. Okay, we are normally by the time by the time them come out is my birthday, which equals a lot of money, plus I get around 100 a month. That was absolutely butchered, Neil, but somehow I still understood you. That is on the very cusp of what I can understand. So we are coming up now on 2 hours and 17 minutes. As I say that, last question, do you or a loved one? Yeah, okay. Mesothelioma. Very funny. Thank you guys very much for watching. I always appreciate having you guys in the stream. Johnson, not so much. I'm just kidding. Love you, Johnson. Sorry I'm tired. Know the feels, bro. Thank you guys very much for watching. I always appreciate having every single one of you in the stream to not only support me and keep on doing this so that I have some motivation to do this, but it's also fun to talk to you guys. It's fun to laugh and goof off with you guys while we're doing this. So thank you guys very much for watching, and end stream.